Namaste. Welcome you all for our program on meditation. This is the program on meditation. This is the going through the path of sage Patanjali, and we have been trying to look at the kleshas or the samskaras or the impressions in the chitta and how to um, overcome them. And in that we have looked at raga, dvesha, asmita, and now we are focusing on abhinivesha. Before we actually come to the definition given by Sage Patanjali, we are trying to understand what is this fear. We have seen that there is rational fear, which is healthy, which is essential, which is based on survival instinct. But the problem is with the irrational fear. And in irrational fear, there is another very peculiar variety, very, sort of person centric, also known as phobias. But that apart, most people suffer from irrational, imaginary fear. And fear induces anxiety and worries. So let us try to look at these dimensions of fear. Today we will see what are the types of fear and how many of these we are afflicted with in the light of Bhartrhari's Vairagya Shatakam, in which he lists several types of fears. Before that, let us chant the sacred word Om. So sit upright, close your eyes, watch your breathing, sit in a comfortable posture. You can also sit on a chair, palms facing upwards, tip of the thumb and index finger in contact. Watch your breathing, watch your posture. Keep the mind calm. Thoughts do come, but try to be a witness to the thoughts. So that developing that ability to witness, we have dealt with this in all of our earlier episodes. So it's a very, very important aspect. Be a witness. Now we are going to pronounce the word Om. Procedure: you have to slowly inhale. As you exhale, pronounce the word Om. You can join with me. Inhale. Om. 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 Be quiet. Watch the inner calmness, inner quietness. Fear is one of the strong emotions that haunts most people. In handling this, in overcoming the grip of the fear, the most important thing is to acknowledge the presence of the impressions of fear in us. Simply making statements like I have no fear, I don't fear, they won't help. We must go deep and see what fear haunt us. This is an important step if you want to free yourself from fear. Slowly open your eyes. Today we are going to look at the types of fears as listed by Bhartrhari in his Vairagya Shatakam. And of course, he also gives a solution, a single window solution. We will read. It's good to remember this. Bhoge Rogabhayam Kule Chutibhayam Vitte Nripalat Bhayam Mane Dainya Bhayam Bale Ripu Bhayam Rupe Jaraya Bhayam Shastre Vadi Bhayam Gune Kala Bhayam Kaye Kratantad Bhayam Sarva Vastu Bhayanvitam Bhuvi Nranam Vairagyameva Abhayam. This is what Bhartrhari says. Now we can contemplate on each of this and recognize how many of this do bother us. We have to be very honest in examining our own self, in acknowledging the presence of any of these spheres. Bhoge roga bhayam. If you want, you can also close your eyes and try to focus on this word bhoge roga bhayam. You can close your eyes and see. Bhoge means in all sorts of sensual pleasures, because they give some sort of pleasure. Most people go after sensual pleasures, and there that itself can become a seed for bhayam. How? Threat of diseases. A number of examples. You are attached to sweets, for example. You derive a lot of pleasure in eating sweets. So whether you have diabetes or not, that fear of diabetes can haunt. So what happens? First is that fear. If I become diabetic, I will not be able to enjoy these pleasures. So, the attachment to the sweets is the root cause of this fear of disease. Just contemplate on this. This is only a simple example. We can extend this to all sorts of sensual pleasures. So the two dimensions. One is whatever is giving me the sensual pleasure, will that continue? That is the anxiety level 1. Whatever is giving me sensual pleasures, will it continue? What if it gets discontinued? So there is a love for continuity. Then second level of anxiety is because of any sort of dis-ease. Will I lose the ability to enjoy these sensual pleasures. So there is anxiety. How long will it be available? How long will I be able to enjoy? So this is how this fear leads to anxiety, and anxiety triggers a chain of worries. Please contemplate on this. So in how many sensual pleasures are we caught up? Well, this does not mean that we should neglect the disease. We should handle the disease. We should get it treated in XYZ methods to remain healthy. All that is apart. But the essence of this statement is, because of our excessive attachment to the sensual pleasures, we become anxious and worried. So it is very important to loosen that grip of attachment. That is the crux of the thing. So contemplate on this. Then Kule Chuti Bhayam. Kule means our lineage. We are from such and such a lineage, our ancestors are so and so, etc. Then Chuti Bhayam. To this, some fall down, fear of fall down from the brand of our lineage. We should remember there is not only this fear of put it in simple terms, fear of getting a bad name to our lineage. So this fear can be caused by not just that person, but the descendants of that person. For example, for a person, the children can cause anxiety and worry because they are not up to the mark of their lineage. Well, the point is not that we should not care for our lineage, but the point is too much of attachment to that can itself become a source of anxiety and associated worries. A simple example, just to drive the point. Suppose there is a person who is very orthodox. Their lineage is like that, very orthodox. They do a lot of uh, religious activities, worships, yagnas, etc. And one person, maybe the son or grandson, is totally off from this track, and let us say he becomes an antisocial element with all bad habits, bad manners. And he will bring bad name to their lineage, and this could cause what all he will do, etc., can trigger anxiety and worries because of excessive attachment to that aspect of kula or lineage or whatever their family pride or prestige you may call so if you want. So the root cause is attachment. And the third point, very important, vitte nrupalat bayam. Which means if you have wealth, nrupalat bayam, fear of the king. In the sense, you will attract the attention of the king, then all the taxes or whatever. But this must be seen in much broader perspective. Not just the, that is in the modern day parlance, fear of the tax authorities. This will be more if the earning is not righteous. If we earn in the right way, if we pay the taxes, generally these fears will not be there. But however, fear of losing through other means, for example, somebody may steal the money, etc. Having wealth is not the issue here. Attachment to that. If one is attached too much to this wealth, then that associated anxiety will always be there. Wherever he goes, he will be thinking, what happens to that? What if somebody steals? And today's world, the cyber crimes, what will happen to my money in the bank account? What will happen to my investments in the stock, whatever? Any variation in the stock index? He becomes anxious every day, morning, looking at the news. About what? About how secured his investment. Again, we must take it in the right spirit, in the sense that wealth investment by itself is not the problem, the attachment to that. So just examine how much of grip this fear of wealth has on us, and how the associated anxiety and worries haunt us in and through. Just contemplate, look at your own experiences in life, how you are spending your days, how much of it is simply washed away in these anxieties and worries. So for today, these three types of fears: bhoge rogabhayam, kule chutibhayam, vitte nrupalat bhayam. So this vitte nrupalat bhayam has to be seen in a very broad perspective, and we must see how much of these fears do we carry and how they create anxiety and worries, and we should acknowledge them, and we should try to diffuse them through non-attachment or vairagya. We should develop non-attachment with the sensual pleasures. It does not mean you should not enjoy. It simply means if it is not there for whatever reason, that is also okay. You must condition the mind not to crave for it. Similarly, kule chuti bhayam, vitte nrupalat bhayam. When we say vitte nrupalat bhayam, it includes all other types of threats that can be there for our wealth, investments, etc. And towards that, we should develop a sense of non-attachment, in the sense, well, if the stock index falls down, we don't wish for it, but it will not haunt my mind. I do not carry that anxiety and worry associated with that. So there is something that we need to contemplate. And well, Patanjali gives a very great insight into all these things. We will look at Patanjali's definition after a few classes, because that is a very, very subtle and beautiful definition. And these contemplations, how to do, Patanjali has clearly enunciated, and we shall all bow to this great sage.